Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center. And if you're starting to think ahead to Father's Day, it is right around the corner. I've got some great options for you right here for a fantastic gift. Let's check them out. So one of the common things I think that a lot of people think of when trying to think of a Father's Day gift is some like shaving and grooming supplies, and we've got some of that I'm going to show you, but we are the Knife Center, so I'm going to show you some really cool knives first before we get to that stuff, including a bunch of options that come in under 50 bucks right now. Now the first is a Swiss Army knife. You know, every dad could use a Swiss Army knife if they don't have one already. In fact, if they do have one already, you probably use another one too. And I've got a few here. There are dozens of models, but I got a few I want to point you to, and that's these Knife Center exclusive versions with red A-lock scales. This is their aluminum handle material, not their red plastic, and you can only get these models with that red A-locks from us. The first one is the Pioneer X, and what you get with that, you actually get the same four tools, or at least the modern rendition of the same four tools that came on the original Swiss Army knife, the actual one developed for the Swiss Army over a century ago. You've got a main blade right here, a bit over 3 inches long, good for all your daily tasks. On the other side, you've got an awl, works well as a leather punch or as a scraper with the sharpened edge right here. You've got a cap lifter that has a flathead screwdriver and wire stripper here at the base, as well as a can opener, and the tip of that can be used as a smaller flathead screwdriver. Also works on some Phillips head screws in a pinch. Now that's the standard Pioneer. The Pioneer X, which this version is, adds one extra tool, and that is a handy pair of scissors. Great thing to have on you day to day. Good for trimming strings, maybe a little bit of emergency mustache or beard maintenance. I've certainly used it for that in the past. Just a great thing to have, and this model comes in very affordable at 45 bucks right now. Personally, the model I like even better is the Bantam. This is a very slim knife. It's only a single layer thick, so you can slip this just about anywhere. It's not going to be bulky to carry. It has two main tools. You've got your pen blade, again, good for all your daily needs, small box opening, letter opening, that sort of thing. And it also has the very versatile combo tool on the other side. Now this looks like a cap lifter, and it does that. You've got your screwdriver there at the tip, as well as the wire stripper, but the way they've engineered this, it actually works as the can opener as well. This really is a lot of functionality packed into a very, very small frame. Very affordable too, also comes in at 25 bucks. If you'd rather have something that was put together in the US to give to your dad, or to give to yourself if you are a dad, no rule saying you can't buy a gift for yourself, the Leatherman Wingman and Sidekick are on sale right now for a few bucks under 50 at the moment. Now both of these tools are almost the same. They vary just a little bit in the final tool selection, but they're built around a spring-loaded set of pliers, which is quite nice. You know, a lot of Leathermans don't have that kind of spring action, so it can be a little easier to actuate in small spaces. And all the edges are nice and comfortable, so you can really squeeze on them too. Now a few of the tools open from the inside. You've got a Phillips screwdriver and flathead screwdriver here on one arm. And the other arm, you get a can opener, a small serrated blade, nice little utility shape there, as well as a small section here with a file on one side, a small ruler on the other with both inches and centimeters, and the tip of that can be used as a small flathead screwdriver as well. You've also got a lanyard loop in here that can spin out for use. Now closing it back up, you've got a nice pocket clip here, which makes it easy to stash in the pocket, or a belt sheath if they prefer belt carry. That is included with both of these. Now where the tool sets differ on these, I'd say the Sidekick is a bit more camping friendly, or a bit more outdoors friendly. You've got a wood saw as well as a plain edge blade here. Both of those do lock open, and they're open with one hand without having to open the rest of the tool first. Whereas the Wingman has the same outside opening, but I'd say it's maybe a little more urban friendly. You've got a combo edge blade with partial serrations here at the back, and a nice big set of scissors right here. In fact, I actually carry a Leatherman Wave quite often. I actually like the scissors on this even better. They're a little bit bigger, you got a little bit more contact area, but they're quite nice. All right, next up is a classic gentleman's pocket knife, the Kershaw Leek. And if there's one knife model, probably more than any other single knife model that more Knife Center staff have bought over the years, it's the Leek. It's just a classy piece, looks good, great for EDC, nice and slim, and very affordable. We've got this at a special price of just under 40 bucks right now. That blade is nice and acute, that modified Wharncliffe shape. You get some excellent Sandvik 14C 28N steel right there. For your non-knife or non-steel nerds out there, take that to mean you get a very keen edge on this knife very easily. It's gonna cut for a long time. And again, a great shape for just everyday usage. It's not highly specialized for tactical or bushcraft or outdoor. This is just a classic pocket knife. It's held open with a frame lock for safety, but there's also liner lock versions of this available, and those can be had with some fancier colors if you'd like something other than just the gray. Now this is a flipper opening knife. You got a small tab here. It's also assisted opening, which means once you start to rotate the blade out, a spring is gonna take over and finish things out. So it's not a switchblade, so don't worry about that. It's just a fast way to open your blade. And as a bonus, the leak is even made in America. I know that's important for a lot of folks out there, myself included. Another great little gentleman's knife that we've also got on sale right now for under 50 bucks, just under $49.95 at the moment, is the Cold Steel Lucky One. This is another knife that's just a great little pocket knife. Blade is a bit over 2.5 inches long, nice and thin, and we've got a premium steel here, S35VN. It's made with modern particle metallurgy technology. You get a lot of edge retention going on. And the blade is nice and thin, so it slices well, and nice and narrow, so it's very agile, just like some of these other blades so far. So the handles on these are carbon fiber, give you a nice classy and upscale look. Be a good knife to wear with a suit for sure. There's a little bit of a contour here, so it feels good. It's not like a flat piece of carbon fiber. Nestles into the hand quite well, and that's aided as well by these nice broad finger grooves, so it's not a cramped grip at all. It's got a pocket clip as well if you want to hold the knife in the pocket. It also comes with like a small velour pocket slip, so you could close this up. Action walk and talk is quite nice, by the way, nice and snappy. But you can slip this in that little velour slip case, and that can go in your pocket, so you're not going to ding up the knife, or you can store it like that. Either way, it's a very nice option. Both of those are very classy options, I'd say, but if you're looking for something a little more maybe tactical or a little more kind of rough and tumble, we've got another American-made option here. This is the Boker Plus USA folder. It's just that, it's the USA folder. And we've got a few versions of this. This one with a black handle and black blade comes in at $45. You can also get it with a plain edge blade that isn't black, so you don't get the partial serrations here, and that one comes in just under $50. The blade steel is 154 cm, a really good mid-grade stainless option. Opens very easily thanks to these thumb studs right here, and a good blade length for getting most things done. It's not so big that it's going to be unwieldy. Comes in about 3 3/8, but it's not so small that you feel like you can't kind of go at some of the bigger jobs out there. The serrations are going to make it better on fibrous stuff like rope or maybe like seat belts in sort of an emergency situation. And they're backed up by a reinforced nylon handle. Got a little bit of a texture there, feels quite nice. Reversible pocket clip for both sides, and a ambidextrous lockback as well with a nice little boy dent in there. And this is a great option if your dad's a lefty. He'll be able to use this just fine, just as well as any of the righties out there. It holds in the hand quite nicely, and then you've got a little bit of a space here where you can choke up and you can pinch quite well, get some finer use out of the tip there. Just a solid American-made knife. Again, coming in just 45 bucks right now. All right, that's it for the knives that are under $50. I'll show you a few more premium options right here. Some things that are a little bit nicer and have a little bit more performance-oriented materials around them as well. The first right here is from Spyderco, and it's just one of the pakkawood series of knives that we have from Spyderco that are KnifeCenter exclusives. This is the Dragonfly 2. This knife comes in at about $133 right now, but we've also got the smaller Ladybug. That comes in at about $78, and the larger Delica and Endura, which range up to about $168, $169 for the largest knife. But for me personally, this is my favorite one out of the entire pakkawood series that we have as exclusives. The blade length is just right. It's under 2.5 inches long, which there are some locations out there where that still is a blade length you need to worry about, but you don't feel like you're carrying a small knife. Part of that's due to the handle design. Got a nice finger choil here on the front, which means that even me, I've got slightly bigger hands, I can get a pretty full grip on this knife. And that really goes a long way. Even though you have that shorter amount of blade, you feel like you can work it harder. If you've got a blade this small with a small handle to boot, it might get a little more tricky to use, but this, I feel like I could tackle a mountain of cardboard with this no problem. The steel itself is laminated, so it's 3 layers. On the outside, you've got a simpler stainless steel, and on the core, you've got what's called HAP 40, which is a powder metallurgy tool steel. It is, quote unquote, a carbon steel. So it can patina and develop a little character over time, which is really great, especially if it's something they're going to be carrying for years. That kind of character that develops there is going to be really nice, and it's a high performance cutting steel to boot. The handles, as I've mentioned, are pakkawood, which is sort of it's a laminated wood product. So you get the look of real wood because it is real wood, but you get more of the stability of the modern materials like micarta or G10. Maybe not quite as stable, but they're not going to shrink, warp, or crack like natural wood can, since you do have some inherent stabilization in this process here. Apart from that, it's got some similar features to that Boker Plus USA, actually. We've got a reversible pocket clip, can go on either side, and it's Spyderco's wire clip, which looks really classy on the outside of the pocket. We've also got that strong back lock right there in the middle with that Boyd dent. And if you're wondering what that's for, that means it's a little bit harder to disengage. If you're really bearing down on the knife, you're less likely to squeeze that lock bar open. Also helps you to easily find it with your finger if you're not looking right at the knife. Then you've got that nice one-hand opening hole right there. Again, great option for lefties or righties, dads, anywhere. Now that knife was made in Japan, and now we're going to come back with another US-made premium knife. This is the KnifeCenter exclusive Kershaw bare knuckle with champagne gold aluminum handles. Price on this is actually really good for what you get. We're at about $120 right now. And for that, you get this solid design. First of all, it's a really cool looking design, nice and swoopy, very ergonomic, and it's something a little bit different. It's got a more modern flair than some of the classic pocket knives out there, which are nice. You know, you've got sort of your modern classic with this Spyderco, but if you really want to lean into the modern day of knife design, this is a great way to do it. But what really makes this noteworthy, for that price, you get a 20 CV blade, which even more than S35 VN, even more than HAP 40 on those knives we looked at earlier, is going to offer absolutely phenomenal edge retention. And this is actually the cheapest way to get into some 20 CV steel right now across any product at the KnifeCenter. So it is a very good performance bargain for your money. You got 3.5 inches there to work with, so it's a nice big size. If you want a smaller knife, this may be getting a little bit on the larger side, but you've got plenty to work with there for bigger jobs and a really nice acute tip. So if you need to do any kind of piercing, this is a good option. That champagne gold aluminum I think looks great with the black contrast. And you've got what Kershaw calls it the sub-frame lock, which is a patented mechanism of theirs. Lets you get the stability and safety of a frame lock while still being able to use a different material for the rest of the handle, because that lock bar is anchored into that aluminum there. So you get that same cool color wrapped around the entire knife. Also got a deep carry pocket clip here, and it is pretty darn deep carry. Only a little bit of that gold is going to be peeking out, and this can be reversed to the other side as well. Action on these are quite good. This is a flipper knife, but unlike the Kershaw Leak from before, the bare knuckle is not assisted. This is a manual knife with ball bearings in the pivot, their KVT bearing system, which means it flips out very, very nicely indeed. Another personal favorite of mine that's another good modern option is our KnifeCenter exclusive Benchmade bugout with red battle wash handles. You've got modern construction going on here, but a pretty classic drop point blade shape going on. You've got S30V steel, about 3¼ inches, and it's just a really nice profile for pretty much any task out there. And it's nice and thin too, with a high flat grind, so it is a great slicer. And the name of the game actually about this knife is keeping things nice and thin. You can see it doesn't take up too much width right here, and the whole weight actually comes in less than 2 ounces. You get a lot of performance in a lightweight package. You got 2 blade styles available, or 2 blade finishes I should say. You've got the satin finish, which actually has kind of a hint of a light stonewash. That comes in at $140, and for a few bucks more, I think it's about, about $153, you can get it with a black coated blade as well, which looks really cool with the black and red motif going on here. You got red thumb studs, red barrel spacers, and a red base coat, which is sort of covered up by some of this black, so you get kind of that peeking through aesthetic of the red, and over time a little bit more of that red is going to show through as it wears down a little bit. And this one's another great option for righties and lefties, because you've got a deep carry pocket clip that can go on either side, but more importantly, Benchmade's Axis lock, which is this crossbar style lock that goes through the handle and blocks the back side of the blade from closing. And what's really cool about that, with either hand you can flick it open or closed, Or if you don't want to do the flick, you can just do some more simple opening and closing. But it's a pretty addictive action. It's solid, very strong, and this whole knife is just a phenomenal package. All right, that's it for the knives I've got to show you so far. But in terms of some other great Father's Day gift ideas, a nice pen is always one of the things that can be at the top of your list. And we've got a wide selection of tactical pens as well as fancier pens you could choose from. But the one I want to show you today is from Tuff Writer. This is called their Precision Press. And it's a little bit expensive. This is a $95 or $96 $96 pen right now. But what you get for that is pretty impressive. It's made in the USA, and all the parts here are, modular is not the word, but they're all individually replaceable. So for that $95, this really could be a lifetime investment, something that will last forever pretty much. We've got a few different finishes available. This is the red one, which comes with an aluminum body, but you can also get it with like copper and some titanium or stone-washed aluminum, as well as other colors on the for the anodization there. Everything is really solidly put together. It doesn't even click, which is kind of, it's a little disconcerting at first, but that's because the interchange or the interface is just so smooth and satisfying. Now, as far as the refill, this comes with a Fisher Space Pen refill, which means you can write upside down, you can write underwater, through grease. It's just a phenomenal performance pen cartridge, but it's actually the Parker compatible version of it, which means this pen is compatible with any Parker cartridge out there or any Parker style cartridge, which means you've got a ton of options, or your dad has a ton of options for the type of ink he would like to put in this pen. All right, now how about some grooming stuff? Even if your dad is quarantining at home right now, all of this still has to look good for the Zoom calls. So the first thing I want to show you is a nice travel manicure set from Kershaw, coming in at $15 right now. You get a lot for that. You've got a pair of cuticle scissors, a nail clipper, nail file, and a pair of tweezers, and it all comes in this nice kind of leather-bound case. Very good for travel, very good for him just keeping in the bathroom too, because you got everything you need right there. Now the next thing I have to show you is a comb, and it's not just any comb though. This is made by Kent, and this is a handmade folding comb. Comes in about $14 right now. It's made from acrylic. It's got kind of this old school tortoise shell look going on, but it feels really solidly put together. It's kind of stylish, and it's kind of like a knife because it folds. I don't know about you, but they do make a standard non-folding comb, which is quite nice and a little bit cheaper. But for my money, something cooler and a little more appealing about the fact that this does fold up. It would make it easier to slip into your pocket and carry with you, because you're not gonna have to worry about the tines breaking so much. So especially if you need to do, there's a lot of travel going on, especially business travel, this is great for having on hand all the time. Now, as for some classic shaving options, we have way too much for me to show you very much here in the video. We've got an absolutely huge selection of some of the finest shaving stuff, honestly, in the world. And we will leave links to our KnifeCenter down in the description below. But I'm gonna pull a few things right here that I think are especially noteworthy right now. This first one is a safety razor, so it's kind of an intermediate step between your typical cartridge razors and the full-on straight razor. It is more convenient and a little bit safer feeling than a straight razor, but they still offer a really nice shave. This is the Boker safety razor, made in Germany. For some reason, the Germans seem to get the lion's share of the high-end shave stuff out there these days. There's a reason for that. The precision is very nice. The handle on this particular one is actually polished African cow horn, which is really cool. Each one's gonna be a little bit different because that is a natural material, but it's polished up. It looks really nice indeed. Price on this is about $82, and it takes any standard safety razor refill, which of course we sell all of those at the KnifeCenter as well. If you want to take the jump though to a full straight razor, I've got an excellent option right here that's pretty darn affordable too. This is a Dovo. It's their best value straight razor, comes in at $84. It's got a simple black synthetic handle and a nice solid stainless steel blade on the front right there. Very deep hollow grind. The edge itself is extremely thin, so it's gonna be popping hairs really nicely. And it's a great thing for getting just absolutely the closest shave you can get out there. We also sell, to keep these in tip-top shape, we sell waterstones and strops when it comes time to hone that edge a little bit. But even if you don't want to use this for shaving, these honestly make a pretty cool utility knife if you really want to as well. All right, I've got one last item right here that doesn't really matter which shave style you use. You could use a straight razor, you could use a safety razor, or even just your standard run-of-the-mill cartridge shaver today. A nice set of shave soap. And this one right here is from the Napa Soap Company, and everything comes together in a package for just 34 bucks. First of all, you get a nice brush for working up the soap and applying the lather to your face, as well as a nice enamel mug that has their homemade soap right in there. Actually, homemade's the wrong word. This is a small batch soap company. But what's really nice about it is their recipe, not only do they smell really good, there's a bunch of different scents, but you've got a lot of healing and soothing oils kind of baked into their recipe. They feel really good, smell really good, and they're gonna help you get that really close shave. Again, works no matter what type of shaving system you use, except for electric. You wouldn't want to use shaving cream or soap with an electric razor. All right, I've got one last bonus Father's Day gift idea right here, and this is for the dads who like to barbecue, like to cook out. This is the Epicurean serving cleaver cutting board thingy. I'll have a better title up on the screen so you know exactly what to find on our website. Really cool piece. It comes in about $50, and as you can see, it's a cutting board in the shape of a gigantic meat cleaver, which is really cool in and of itself, but actually the Epicurean boards are really nice. So this is a gimmick, but it also isn't a gimmick. The material they use here is Richlite, which is made from recycled wood products. So this is a fairly eco-friendly board as well. And it looks good. You can cut your stuff on it or just use it as a serving tray, especially for bringing a big roast or like a bunch of burgers or a bunch of chicken wings or something out from the grill on this. It's just a big smile, and that's why I wanted to show that to you as well. All right, guys, that's all I've got to show you right now for our Father's Day gift guide of 2020. I hope you liked what you see here. If you've got any other cool suggestions, we'd love to hear from you in the comments as well. Now, if you want to get your hands on any of these cool items, we'll have links in the description that'll take you over to theknifecenter.com. And while you're over there, make sure you signed up for our Knife Rewards program, because if you're going to buy one of these knives, either for your dad or for yourself, you might as well earn some free money to spend on your next purchase. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. Hope you all have a happy Father's Day. See you next time.